Hi again, it's me, Tammy. Welcome back. In this video lesson, we are going to begin with lesson number 18. He often does this. Well, let's take a look at this picture and see what he often does. It looks like there's a dog here, and he often does this. What can you see in this picture? Well, I see a dog with a handbag in its mouth and many other handbags near it. So, from looking at this picture, it looks like he often takes handbags. Let's read and answer this question. What had happened to the writer's bag? After I had lunch at a village pub, I looked for my bag. I had left it on a chair beside the door, and now it wasn't there. My bag, it's gone. As I was looking for it, the landlord came in. Did you have a good meal? He asked. Yes, thank you, I answered, but I can't pay the bill. I haven't got my bag. The landlord smiled and immediately went out. In a few minutes, he returned with my bag and gave it back to me. I'm very sorry, he said. My dog had taken it into the garden. He often does this. So, the question, what had happened to the writer's bag? Well, the dog had taken it into the garden. He often does this. Let's go over some new words and expressions. Pub. Pub is a place where people gather to have drinks, such as beer or alcohol. Landlord. A landlord is a person who owns a house or an apartment or flat, and we pay him or her to live in their house. They are our landlord. Bill. A bill is the amount of money we owe after we have gotten something, maybe like a meal in a restaurant. So after we eat our meal, the waiter or waitress will give us a bill. That means that's the amount of money we must pay for the meal we have eaten. Notes on the text. Pay the bill. We must give money for the bill. We must pay the bill. He often does this, meaning the dog or someone does something quite a few times. They do it often. They do it a lot. He does this a lot. Now let's answer some questions about what we've just read. Number 1. Did the writer have lunch at a village pub or not? Let's see, was it a village pub? After I had had lunch at a village pub. So yes, the writer had had lunch at a village pub. Number 2. Could she find her bag after her meal or not? Let's see. I looked after I had had lunch. I looked for my bag. So she looked for her bag after her meal. Number 3, could she pay the bill or not? Well, before she found her bag, she couldn't pay the bill. I can't pay the bill. So before the landlord brought her bag back, she couldn't pay the bill. Number 4, who soon found it for her? It says here, the landlord returned with my bag and gave it back to me. So her landlord found her bag. Where had his dog taken it? My dog had taken it into the garden. So his dog had taken it into the garden. As you can see here, here's the garden and here's the dog with all the handbags it had taken. The dog's a little thief. Key structures. Have. Let's study these uses of have. Have you had lunch yet? After he had finished work, he went home. Section B. Instead of saying he owns a new house, we can say he has a new house or he has got a new house. We can say he possesses a lot of money, or we can simply say he has a lot of money, or he has got a lot of money. I sure wish I had a lot of money. We can say, does he possess a lot of money? Or we can say, he has a lot of money, or has he got a lot of money? Or excuse me, has he a lot of money, or has he got a lot of money? We can say he doesn't possess a lot of money, or we can say he hasn't a lot of money, or he hasn't got a lot of money. That sounds like me. I haven't got a lot of money either. What about you? Instead of saying, I took a bath before dinner, I could say, I had a bath before dinner. We can say, take a biscuit, or we can simply say, have a biscuit. I enjoyed myself at the party, or I had a good time at the party. I received a letter from him yesterday. I had a letter from him yesterday. So there are 2 or 3 different ways we can say things in English. And it's very good to know how we can say different things in another language. Let's move on to exercise A. It says these questions are on the passage. Write a complete sentence in answer to each one. Number 1, when did you look for your bag? Well, let's see. When did you look for your bag? After I had had lunch at a village pub, I looked for my bag. So after I had had lunch at a village pub. Number 2, what had you done with your bag? What had you done with your bag? I had left it on a chair beside the door. So I had left it on a chair beside the door. Number 3, what did the landlord ask you? What did the landlord ask you? Did you have a good meal? He asked. Did you have a good meal? Number 4, why can't you pay the bill? Why can't you pay the bill? I haven't got my bag. I haven't got my bag. so I can't pay the bill. Number 5. What had the dog done with the bag? What had the dog done with the bag? The dog had taken it into the garden. The dog had taken it into the garden. Exercise B. Supply the correct form of have in the following. After I had lunch at the village pub, I looked for my bag. I had left it on a chair beside the door. Did you have a good meal? He asked. I can't pay the bill. I haven't got my bag. I'm very sorry. My dog had taken it into the garden. After I had had lunch at a village pub, after I had had lunch at a village pub, or you can simply say after I had lunch at a village pub, after I had lunch at a village pub, or after I had had lunch at a village pub. I had left it on a chair. I had left it on a chair. Did you have a good meal? Did you have a good meal? I can't pay the bill. I haven't got my bag. I can't pay the bill. I haven't got my bag. I'm very sorry. My dog had taken it into the garden. My dog had taken it into the garden. Exercise C. In which of these sentences can we put the verb got after have? Let's see. Number 1. He had a drink before dinner. Well, we don't say he had got a drink before dinner. So, number 1, we don't put got after have. We don't say he had got a drink before dinner. Number 2, Mrs. Sullivan has a lot of money. Mrs. Sullivan has got a lot of money. Mrs. Sullivan has got a lot of money. Actually, in number 1, we can say he had got a drink before dinner. He had got a drink before dinner. Mrs. Sullivan has got a lot of money. He had to leave early. We don't say he had got to leave early. We have had a long conversation. We have had a long conversation. We don't say we have had got a long conversation. My mother has a headache. My mother has got a headache. They had a good time at the party. They had a good time at the party. We don't say they had got a good time at the party. This sock has a hole in it. This sock has got a hole in it. She has to be patient with him. She has got to be patient with him. I have a bath every day. We don't say I have got a bath every day. I have a bath every day. This room has 4 windows. This room has got 4 windows. He has a farm. He has got a farm. We had a letter from Jill yesterday. We had got a letter from Jill yesterday. Special difficulties. Read these sentences. Each one contains the verb give. The verb has a different meaning in each sentence. Well, let's read. He returned with my bag and gave it back to me. Give in your exercise books to me. He can't continue fighting. He will soon give in. Give in means to surrender. He will surrender. I gave away my collection of stamps to the little boy. I have given up smoking. Given up means to stop. I have stopped smoking. 3 of our officers gave themselves up to the enemy. So gave up means to surrender. They surrendered themselves to the enemy. Words confused. Beside and besides. Come and sit beside me means next to me. Come and sit next to me. Besides this photograph, I have a number of others. Besides means in addition to. In addition to this photograph, I have a number of others. Exercise A. Let's supply the missing words in the following sentences. Number 1. Will the person who took my ruler please give it back to me? When my children grew up, I gave all their toys away. Number 3. When do we have to give in our compositions? Number 4. We were losing the battle, but we did not give up. Section B. Supply beside or besides in the following sentences. Besides football, he plays tennis. Can you see that boy standing beside the tree? The writer didn't have her bag with her when she went to the pub. She did. The writer lost her bag, had her bag with her when she went into the pub. The landlord knew that the writer couldn't pay her bill. Number 3, after I had lunch, after I had eaten it. She couldn't find her bag. It wasn't there. While I was looking for it, the landlord came in. I haven't got a bag. I don't own one. My dog had taken it into the garden. It was in the garden. Number 8, I looked for my bag. I tried to find it. I had left it on the chair. That's where I put it. The chair was beside the door. It was next to it. The landlord returned with my bag. He came back quickly. He gave it back to me. He returned it to me. Rewrite this sentence. He asked me if I had had a good meal. Did you have a good meal? He asked. Did you have a good meal? He asked. Did you have a good meal? He asked. This is the end of this video lesson. When we begin our next lesson, we will begin on lesson 19, sold out. Bye.